Welcome to r/AmITheA, where OP gets in trouble for making a joke about her own race. Our next story is from Pueblo's Smelly Armpits. Am I the a-hole for making a racist joke? I was hanging out with my friend and we were talking about different cuisines. All of a sudden she brought up Chinese cuisines and I made a joke saying how I eat dog and snake meat, the joke being that dogs and snakes are my favorite animals. She then went on a full rampage saying that I was really racist for what I was implying, that being that all Chinese people ate dogs and snakes and stuff like that. But the funny thing is, I'm Chinese and I've actually tried snake before. Or more specifically, snake soup. It's a real delicacy in Hong Kong, so I have to admit it was pretty ironic. I got slightly annoyed with her saying how racist I was, so I decided to tell her that my grandparents actually ate dog and cat meat before, and ask if it was yet again racist. She got even more aggravated and said that it didn't matter. All that mattered was that I was implying that Chinese people eat dogs, snakes, and etc. That wasn't what the joke was supposed to be about, but I admit it might be racist. Shortly after she left and sent a really long message to me saying that I was really disrespectful to Chinese culture and that she doesn't tolerate racist people. The whole situation was hilarious at first, but now I feel kind of bad. I might have made an unnecessary joke and she was just trying to tell me how racist it was, though I don't fully think I'm the a-hole, but just in case I stepped over the line, Reddit, am I the a-hole? Edit for just in case, she's white. Okay, so I'm just gonna speak from experience here. So me, myself, I'm black. Whenever I joke around about black people with black people, it's not like I'm trying to disrespect the race. It's more of like I'm making light of a situation that otherwise could be seen as dark, like a stereotype, for example, right? The stereotype, or one of the stereotypes for black people, is that you can't swim, right? Now, even though that's a generalization and it's not true, or at least for all black people, it's not true, I can usually make that joke and not really get a negative feedback from it. Like, and I've made jokes like that with older black people as well. Like, you'd expect for old people who grew up in a different time to get mad at stuff like that, but they found it funny just like the young people did. And with your friend being from a different race group, I guess it's like her trying to get offended for Asians. I mean, I'm kind of getting that from what the story is saying. Like, it seems like she's getting mad for Asian people. Like, and that's the thing, right? With different people, you can't really get mad for them when something happens. Like, you can be mad about something that is, going on. Like, for example, when the whole Asian hate was going around during the coronavirus. Like, yeah, that was wrong. I didn't like that. But me not being Asian, I can't be mad for them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not happening to me. I'm not getting attacked. And it was the same thing for like the BLM movement. Like, when people get mad for you, it's just kind of like, all right, come on, just take a seat. You can support from the back, okay? Like, let me get mad at least. And to be honest, I think that if she was also Chinese, she probably wouldn't have taken it as hard as she did. But it's just kind of confusing to me that her not being Chinese, she kind of took it worse than you yourself did, and you're the one that made the joke. So I don't know. Anyways, OP, you get a 0% for the a-hole score. And your friend, on the other hand, I'll give her, let's say 25%. I don't want it to be too high because she wasn't being that much of an a-hole, but she was kind of for just getting mad over something that doesn't really affect her. Our next post is from Logiologist 8082. 6 years ago, I got divorced from my now ex-husband. There was no drama that led to this. We simply realized that there was no longer any happiness or love between us, so we thought it would be a clean break if not for the fact we had a daughter who is now 11. Neither of us wanted to lose full custody of her or miss important moments in her life. She is the most important person in both of our lives, and we debated on trying to make it work, but realized that would only lead to all three of us becoming more miserable. So we entered an arrangement that many would see as unconventional. So I want you guys to keep in mind that like what I'm about to explain to you in this story is like, it's kind of hard to depict in your head, but as soon as I figured it out, like the first thing that popped into my mind was this cartoon that I used to watch when I was little. It was called Wow Wow Wubsy. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard about it, but like the house is shaped like a W, but I'm just imagining that on a smaller scale. So I'll just explain it and you'll see. When we sold our old house, we used the money to buy 2 semi-detached houses that were joined and had a door installed in between them. The construction company warned us that this would affect the resale value, but since neither of us decided to sell it, we had them go ahead and install it anyways. We also had them take down both of the fences in our gardens so that our daughter could have one big space to play in. So now you can kind of see what I'm trying to get at, like where I'm imagining the house looking like a W, but like there's a door in between. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, I'll throw the image of the cartoon character's house up on screen. Like, maybe it looks like that, but with actual houses on each side and then like a kind of arch in the middle for a door, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely unconventional, but like, I mean, awesome parents for trying to make it work. Many of you may question the door being there, but there's an agreement It's strictly for our daughter's use, and neither of us can use it bearing any emergencies, say a fire or medical emergencies or something wrong with our daughter. She had 2 bedrooms on each side, and she can pick where she wants to have dinner, have breakfast, and sleep. I won't lie, it was awkward at first, but for her sake, we made it work, and even regained a lot of the friendship we had lost, though of course it's strictly platonic now. Last year, my ex-husband married his girlfriend of 3 years, a lovely woman who I'm actually friends with, and I even was a guest at her wedding, with my daughter being one of the bridesmaids. All in all, it's an arrangement everyone is content with, except for my boyfriend who I started dating 2 years ago. He understood the arrangement entering into the relationship, and while he said it was a bit weird, he never protested it, and all seemed well. As things got more serious, we've discussed moving in together, and he's made it clear that he wants me to move, as he doesn't want to live next to my ex-husband. I understood, but I told him that wouldn't be happening as my daughter had to come first, and our arrangement gave her a stable upbringing. He got upset with me and asked how was he supposed to be a father to my daughter when she already had a dad and he was literally a wall away. I won't lie, this took me by surprise as I had no idea that he wanted to be a father to her. I told him gently but firmly that he wasn't her father and that she already had one, and that even her father's wife didn't try to be a mother to her. Instead, she called her by her name. I told him if he wanted some kind of familial title, he could be an uncle, but I wouldn't give him permission to take her father's title when he is very much involved in her life. He told me if I loved him, I'd move. And despite me telling him that I do love him, he still isn't listening. Am I the a-hole for this? Wait, so, okay. I understand, like, the living arrangement now, and apparently he did too. But, like, I mean, you can't just say that you want your girlfriend to move when she has responsibilities to her child. I mean, like, especially if she's trying so hard to be a good parent. Yeah, don't do that, dude. Like, come on. But, like, the part when she said that she wanted him to be an uncle, if anything, if he wanted, like, a familial title, I could just kind of, like, imagine that I can just kind of imagine that conversation between her daughter and the mother, like like the daughter comes up to her and she says, "Remember that time you told me that my stepdad was my uncle? So does that mean daddy's brother is your husband?" And then, to be honest, it would be even weirder when friends come over. But yeah, OP, you and your husband and his wife don't get any butthole scores. Like, you guys are a perfect 0, and especially because you guys are trying to be really good parents. No matter how awkward or convoluted it may seem at first, it's still really good that you're trying to bring your child up in a 2-parent household. That said, your boyfriend, OP, gets a 35% on the a-hole score simply because he wants you to move away from that situation that you're trying to build up. But yeah, OP, good job. Our next story is from no_communication 6157. I'm a bridesmaid at my brother's wedding, and his fiance wants to go on a 4-day bachelorette trip to Mexico. The trip for 4 days is close to $2,000, and as someone who is just about to graduate college and working a full-time job, I don't know if I want to use money towards this trip. Also, I'd be losing out on money as I'd have to take off work for this. As well as I don't think I would really enjoy this trip being the odd person out. The rest of the bridesmaids are all her sisters and her sister-in-law who usually go on vacation together and are all 10 years older than me. They all also enjoy partying and drinking, where I don't drink as much and would rather stay in because I'm more of a shy person. I am my brother's only sister and often feel like I'm just a default at the wedding. My mom says that I will be the a-hole for not going, as this is my future sister. I should be doing this to make her happy, whereas my dad said I shouldn't feel forced to go. So would I be the a-hole if I don't go? Yeah, OP, you're definitely not the a-hole here. You shouldn't feel forced to go anywhere or do anything. I mean, it's your life. If I were you, I'd listen to your dad and not go. Although, to help your mother understand it, I'd explain that you'd feel like the odd one out and you just kind of don't really fit in with that crowd. I mean, nobody really likes to feel like the odd one out in a group, and it can really lead to a lot of bad experiences. I mean, everybody knows what it was like when they moved to a new school and they were the odd person out because everybody else had experience with each other and were already friends and stuff like that. So, I mean, that was a nightmare. So it's kind of like the same thing, but it's just in like a different environment. And plus, you're going to be taking a hit financially. It's not really going to be worth it. And plus, them just making the automatic assumption that you can go and that you don't have anything planned is kind of disrespectful. And it's even worse when they just get mad and kind of disregard your problems and reasons for not going. But yeah, OP, you're definitely not the a-hole. Your mother, on the other hand, probably gets about 50% of the a-hole score, and the other 50% can go to the bridesmaids and the ones who expect you to go. Because once again, you don't have to go anywhere or do anything that you don't want to. And plus, it's not like they're going to be filling your pockets with the money that you're going to be losing going on a trip that you don't even want to be on. But yeah, everybody, this has been Am I the A-hole? I hope you enjoyed and come back for more daily episodes.